Greetings again, World Wide Web. In my last video, I talked to you a little bit about my journey to self-acceptance, and I used the word fat a lot in that video, and I know that probably made some people feel very uncomfortable. I'm always going to use the word fat to describe myself, so don't expect me to use terms like voluptuous or hefty. What is hefty even? That's a trash bag. Why would you want to be a trash bag instead of being fat? To me, fat is just another descriptive label. It's the same as saying someone's tall or short or blonde or has red hair or whatever. And so I will always use the term fat to describe myself. That doesn't mean you have to, but I do encourage people to use the term fat if that's how you feel, because it can be very empowering. But I also wanted to point out that the size acceptance movement and the body positive work that I do and the work I do with the Body Beautiful Project is not just for people who are fat. It's for people who have been trained their entire life to constantly be policing their body and constantly being told that they're not good enough, they're not pretty enough the way that they are, that they always should be striving for something else. And so in this video, I kind of just want to talk a little bit about some of the basic steps that you can take to viewing yourself in a different way. And so it can be really hard to pinpoint where everything stems from, and sometimes it's not. I know for me, I can easily pinpoint at this point in my life where my body hatred ideas came from. And for some of you, that's going to be things that your parents told you, things that you've seen in the media, things that kids at school told you. There's lots of different ways in which we get these messages about our bodies. And so I think the first step to really appreciating who you are is to figure out why you feel the way that you do. And so I encourage you all to take time and start, if you're really interested in starting a positive body image journey, then start a positive body image journal. And I did not intend for that to be so punny, but it sort of just happened. So what I would encourage you to do is, in your first entry, sit down and really think about all the messages that you've received about your body, negative and positive, and write them down. Write each down and then take a minute to reflect on how that makes you feel. And I know this sounds like, you know, therapy mumbo jumbo, and I know some of you are going to be hesitant to do this, but you would be surprised how much emotion that can bring up. Just looking at things that people have told you about your body, and whether or not you believe them is irrelevant. The fact that somebody said it to you means that you've taken that in some ways. And so taking a look at those messages and then realizing, taking the time to really look at how they made you feel as a person and how that developed into the way you feel about yourself overall as a whole. And so that's what I would encourage each of you to do this week. So throughout this whole week, take a look at things and take the time each day to reflect on things, because new things are going to come up. This is not an overnight journey where you're going to write this wonderful journal and tomorrow everything's going to be dandy. You really need to take time to look at this, because you've had your entire life. Some of us, and I don't know how old you are watching this video now, but people who have had 18, 20, 30, 40 years of people telling them that their body was not okay, you can't fix that overnight. And so you need to take the time to really learn to love yourself again. And so the first step, like I said, is looking at these messages and seeing how they make you feel. And in my next video, I'm going to talk a little bit about deconstructing these messages and how you can take steps to change those negative ideas into positive ideas about yourself. So, but I want to take it one day at a time. I want to take it one phase at a time so that you don't get completely overwhelmed and not know where to go. And so I hope that you'll take this to heart and that you'll give this a try. And I'll see you in my next video. Okay, the button did not work. This time, I will definitely see you in my next video.